I can't afford to waste this summer. My dream is to graduate working for myself. That means I need to start my own business, and I only have 2 years left and really just 2 summers left to do that. I spent the last 2 summers doing internships. However, with this ticking timer getting louder, I really need to spend the summer working for myself and getting actual experience. But I can't support myself over the summer without money, and so that means I need to get a job. Or I can find an investor. Well, in a previous episode,
but I want to raise $10,000 to just work for myself next summer.
I talked about applying for a grant from an entrepreneurship department at my university, and my startup idea was accepted to be funded. This is a chance of a lifetime, and I can't afford to waste the money, but I really cannot afford to waste the time. There are 5 weeks left until my school kicks me out of my dorm and I'm left to fend for myself, and so I need to lay out what is a successful summer experience going to look like and what do I have to do to achieve it. Without giving up the specifics of my startup idea just yet, the basic plan is to launch a video marketing agency out of Boston. I also have a couple smart goals that I'm aiming to achieve this summer. First and foremost is to actually make back the money that is being invested into this idea. And so the goal is to make back $10,000 over the course of 12 weeks. And that will just be revenue. Okay, so basically that will equate to about $850 every week, maybe even 2 different $400 clients each week. I expect to actually make most of the money in the second half because at the beginning it'll be a lot of just learning and trying to find clients, but hopefully by the end I'll be able to make upwards of $800 every week. I really don't want to look at this as if it's free money. I'm treating it as if someone is actually investing in my business, and so if I can't make it back, the business dies. The second primary goal is to develop a really strong portfolio and experience and clientele network, basically to really develop the company as a whole and to give it a foundation that can actually allow it to be sustainable beyond just this summer. Now let's talk about what I actually need to get this business going. If this is going to be a video marketing agency, I'm going to actually need gear, and a part of the investment is going to be going towards that. So I'm going to need to be buying a camera, a lens, maybe some filters, most likely a gimbal, and things of that nature. I'm aiming for some semi-professional gear, such as the Sony a7 IV. It's not crazy expensive, but it will allow me to do really professional work. If I didn't have the funding, I think I would probably get a job and save up some money for a camera that's about $1,000, and I'd really just use that just to get started. So even during my gap year, I worked up enough money to save and build myself my own PC, and that was about $1,000, a little bit more in total, and that was over the course of 1 to 2 months of saving. Now again, I didn't have that many expenses, but at the same time, it's you just gotta figure out how to get the bare minimum to get started. You gotta remove the blockers to just get the thing going, because ultimately if you don't start, you're never gonna actually have the chance to succeed. So again, if I wasn't getting the funding, I would be working jobs, I'd even be selling stuff to basically just get whatever I need to get whatever that initial investment is to start my own business. Honestly, even borrowing gear would be something I'd be doing, or even I would maybe just maybe put it on credit, but you have to be so wise about doing that. Do not play around with debt. The second thing I need besides gear is honestly channels to reach my customers. I'm going to need different ways to actually find and to convert clients, and so I'm going to need to probably build a website. I need to have an online portfolio. I need to probably have an Instagram page that can also be used for customer outreach, through content creation. And so I'm going to need different channels and ways to actually reach customers. I need to probably have email marketing campaigns, things like that. I'm also going to want to be reaching out through my contacts in Boston if they can even hook me up to different people who may need video services. I'm probably also just going to straight up just be walking into different restaurants, into different businesses, and just be straight up having direct contact and trying to make connections that way too. I'm also going to need to operate under a company name, and I really don't know what I should do because Hero is a pretty common name. I don't know if I should go with Hero Marketing, Hero Productions, Hero Studios. I really need to figure out a good way to brand myself that'll actually be recognizable and something I can honestly use long term and not get sued or anything. For income and tax purposes, I don't think I'm going to be doing an LLC just yet. I think it'll just be a sole proprietorship underneath my name, and I'll take care of it that way. The last thing I need to figure out, honestly, I'll probably be figuring out on the job is a niche. What is going to be my target customer and my target value? What exactly am I offering and to who? I'm really trying to specify that. The way I see it, there's a couple broad niches that you can serve while doing this kind of video marketing. And those would be for events, branding, sales, or just creative work. Events for weddings or things like that. Branding would be for large corporations who want to sell themselves. Sales marketing, which would be specifically for products or direct to conversion type of marketing. And lastly, different creative projects like music videos or things of that nature. I think those are the 4 broad niches I could serve while doing video marketing. I really want to figure out like what am I most intrigued to do, what am I most passionate about, and what am I actually best at. Now next I need to clarify what things are getting in the way. And for me, there are two very specific things that I know for sure are going to get in my way. For one, I am a perfectionist, and that means I care more about things being perfect than about getting things done. I really need to get things done instead of trying to make sure everything is perfect, because it's not all going to be perfect. Whatever objectives I have on a week-to-week basis, I have to accomplish them. Even with these YouTube videos, if I'm trying to post them weekly, not everyone can be some Christopher Nolan-esque, masterpiece. Like, I have to just simplify, I have to systemize the way through which I can produce these. The second thing getting in my way is comparing myself to other people, which means I probably need to get off of social media and getting depressed in my feelings because I'm not doing what everyone else is doing. I need to focus more on how can I be inspired and how can I analyze the work of people better than me, instead of just constantly comparing and letting it deter me from doing something that I actually care about. So the way I see it before the summer starts, I have a couple of phases of things I need to complete in order to set myself up for success. Number one, I need to figure out how I'm going to brand and represent this video marketing agency. Number two, I need to actually set up the online platforms and systems through which I'm going to reach and convert customers. Number three, I need to sort out the logistics and the systems and the workflows that I'll be using to actually run the business on a week-to-week basis. And number four, I need to sort out the planning of how I'm going to live, how I'm going to buy things, sorting out making sure taxes details don't slip by me and I get screwed over by the IRS. I need to make sure I have a house. I need to make sure I have food. I need to make sure that I just confirm that I'm actually getting the money. And so I spoke to the department and they said that most of those meetings are going to be happening at the end of this month. And so I'm going to save that for last. However, if I know anything about plans, that usually they often fall apart. And what's more important than a plan is being able to execute and to adapt and to make the most of the situation that I find myself in. So ultimately, that's what matters most. Again, I'm still in classes, I'm still serving in my campus ministry, I'm still running around, I'm still constantly have a lot on my plate, and so I'm still trying my best. However, if I can survive doing this work right now, I can definitely handle some stuff when the summer comes. I'll also be participating in Yes Theory's 6-week live workshop where they're going to help train people how to get better at storytelling and things of that nature. I'm really looking forward to that experience, and hopefully I can learn a lot. But that'll be it for today. I will see you all next week. Thanks again for watching, and as always, don't wait for a hero, go be one. Peace.